The race for the position of Speaker in the 11th Parliament is gaining momentum each day, whereas the incumbent Rebecca Kadaga is facing stiff challenge from within the NRM through the candidature of her deputy Jacob Oulanya. The opposition is not going to stand by and watch. Uganda's oldest political party, DP, is fronting Engineer Richard Sssebamala, the man who trounced Vice President Edward Ssekandi in the recently concluded election. But does Engineer Sebamala have the political gravitas to clinch the position of Speaker, or is merely punching above his weight? Well, Engineer Richard Sssebamala, MP-elect Bukoto Central in Masaka District, is on the spot tonight. Engineer Richard Sssebamala, thank you so much for having honored our invitation. You are on the spot.
You're welcome. It's nice to be here.
I should begin by congratulating you because you're an MP-elect. You'll be swearing in, I think, in May. And you trounced this Vice President, His Excellency Edward Ssekandi. I wonder how that was, because you'll forever be remembered in the just concluded election as the man who beat a Vice President in an election. I wonder what it was like.
The victory is not mine per se. The victory is for the people. It's the people that really wanted change. They had seen him a while, almost 26 years. They had seen how he has, gone on with his politics, what he has served, what he has done. And they felt like it was change. The victory was not about the Vice President. It was about the office. We wanted the office of the Member of Parliament back to the constituency. And then he can as well stay Vice President forever.
But he's such a man of good character, in my view. He's a Vice President. He's well connected. He has resources. And I'm wondering how the people of Bukoto can trade the Vice President for a political newcomer.
Yeah, really, you would wonder how it was done. But, it is about being with the people, understanding the people, being right on the ground with them, understanding their problems, filtering the problems of the society with them, and then looking out at service delivery and to see whether having a Vice President has been any good to our society, or has been any good to our, or whether it has made us any different from any other constituency. So we had to have a baseline. By the time he went to Parliament, where was the education sector then? Where was it? How is it now? Where do we expect it to be? Health sector, where is it? Where would it be? How is it now? What's the change? We have the Vice President, but what's the role? What role does he play in service delivery in the constituency? And people marked up and were seeing no change. Actually, other constituencies in the nearby position, like the constituency that was being taken by Mr. Kasolo, Honorable Kasolo of Choteda, the constituencies of Madame Namayanja of opposition, they were working on a tarmac road from Nyendo to Bukakata, and then they were saying there's not even a meter of tarmac in their place. The electric power, hydropower, is only 16%. It has only covered 16% of the constituency. The health centers that were there are the same health centers that are there, only that they have been a bit expanded. Even when they have been a bit expanded, how are they serving the people? Are the drugs there? Do they have doctors in time? Are they just shelters where people just go, shelter, then somebody comes and tells them what's, They don't even have laboratories, or if they have laboratories, the laboratories are not functional to help the society. There were a lot of things. We looked at service delivery, we looked at unemployment, we looked at very many things. And these people were like, whether we have a Vice President or any other MP, I think it would be better. So they decided to change. It was not mine was to tell them, I have come, here I am, please send me.
So now, you are a newly elected MP.
Yeah.
This is going to be your first time in the Parliament.
Of course.
But you come with such a big ambition. You're super focused on the position of Speaker. And your colleagues are likely to say, maybe this is likely to rub them the wrong way.
Which colleagues then?
The 11th Parliament. There are those who have been there for quite some time, including the Speaker, current Speaker who wants to retain the position, has been there for 30 years.
Yeah.
So this guy, this newly elected MP from Bukoto, wants to take the position of Speaker. that ambition is good for somebody to have an ambition. But there are some people who, in that house, who will say, wait a minute, who are you?
Yeah, exactly. First and foremost, Mr. Kamara, I would like to thank my fellow parliamentarians and also congratulate them for coming, for standing out, be victors of, you know, the last election. And then the fact that they are going to, you know, be in the 11th parliament. It is really important. I didn't think about going to parliament and standing for speaker at the time when I was elected. I thought about this long before I stood for this position, long before I went for election. I thought to myself, if I am to make a difference in this place, where are the decision-making points? Who should I talk to? How will I talk to them? What power do I need to talk to these people? What connections do I need? Where should I do this or there? So it was not about win the vice president. The thing was, if I win the vice president, then I would want to be this. So I started preparing long before we started. During the elections, I'll tell you point blank, Mr. Kamala, I helped very many parliamentarians with the current elects. Even some of those that were there, I helped them with different things, different voting material. Not not voting material, but different. Now give them posters.
Paraphernalia.
A lot of things. You know how the elections are. They would call Richard. I'm stuck here. What do you do? I would even go to some constituencies and support them. Yeah, personally. So it was a thing of let's go through this. But where are we? Where is the fight ending? The fight is ending at the point where we want change. We want to see something different. And I want to tell my fellow parliamentarians that are coming in the 11th parliament, we have come with ideas. We have come with, you know, we have a new era. There is a different picture of parliament that we want to shed. So everyone has come in with new ideas. Everyone has come in with the pain of the people. Some have come in with the vigor like mine, but are scared to come out and, you know, and air it out. So we are saying, if we have come with these vast ideas and everything, and everyone is cautioning us, you go, but please don't shame us. That is what the guy, we have sent you, like we sent so and so. But when you reach that parliament, please don't change. Be who you are. Be part of us. Don't forget us. Those are the things these people have been telling us all through during the campaigns. Let's send you. You're also one of ours. But you go and don't be like so and so. These are the things that they have. Now we are here, we are. Everyone is, we are now on the floor of parliament. But we have to take orders from elsewhere. We even don't know whether what we promised will you know, we shall deliver. We are stuck and everyone is panicking. So this is when I told these members of parliament, and I was like, you know what? It's better when we reach parliament, we shade our own picture of what we want to be. We have had despises of the last parliament. We have had people trouncing it. You have heard how they even sometimes took pigs to the parliament. Very many things have happened to the last parliament. That the values and standards of parliament went as low. We are now 529. They were only 300 and something. 314, 329 something. We are now 400. We are now 529. What do you expect in that house of 529 MPs? How are we going to shade that beautiful picture if we do not stand out and shade our own picture? You know, so my dear colleagues that came in with independent minds and ready to shade that picture will stand by me this time. If we look at the people that have been in parliament, I appreciate they have done the good, the bad, and the ugly. They have been part of it all. 30 years, 20 years. They are just a prolonging of we are just prolonging what they have done. They are so full of themselves that they even decide to say, we decided that you'll be there 10 years and then I'll be the next. You're supposed to come. If the other one said 5 years, I also have to stay 10 years. And now who told you that? You know, they even call in public and call, you're a coward, you're a liar. Are we going to be, are those the leaders that we are going to go up to? We new parliamentarians, is it what we want to see? Is it the image that we have? But
Engineer Sebamala, you belong to the Democratic Party.
True.
Which performed so miserably in this election. In fact, you out of 529, you only have 9 members of parliament from the Democratic Party.
We don't have 520.
Sorry?
So we don't have the 520.
You don't have the 520. You're only 9 of you.
Yes.
So you want people who worked hard in this election. to get the majority of that house, hand over their sweat that they are gained through that sweat.
Yes.
Hand over that position to you,
Yeah.
the third most important position in the land, after having worked so hard. I mean, it is not realistic.
I will tell you this, my brother. It is not about whether the position is so big or so huge or who worked so hard for it. It is about the quality of service delivery.
Yeah, but you cannot think that out of almost 300 or more members of NRM that there's no man or woman of quality, a man or woman of substance. Because I just don't understand, Engineer Richard Sssebamala, that people who have worked hard to have a majority of that house can really, in their thinking, hand over the position of the same house to the opposition.
They are not handing over the position to the opposition. They are only handing over this position
the
to
leadership.
a person.
They hand over the leadership to the opposition.
They are handing over the
Would
leadership.
DP do that?
Humbly, if somebody had better values, if somebody had more, if somebody had a better personality, if somebody was ready to work for the country better, it's now not about
just the other day in the United States when the house just flipped by only one person.
Yes.
Mike McConnell is no longer House Speaker. It's another person.
Yes.
And now here it is tilted almost 70-80% to 20 on the opposition, and you want them to hand over leadership of the house.
No, they are not handing over the leadership of the house to me. They are handing over service delivery to the right person. When we are in that parliament, it's not about opposition, it's not about NOPE, it's not about anyone. It's about Uganda. How do we want to shape this land full of milk and honey? Good climate, everything vast, very good tourism futures, a very good culture, multiple languages every 100 kilometers. Who are we handing over this country to decide for it? You understand? Not to decide together. Actually, I don't even make the decisions. I'm just one of those people that follows the rules of procedure, because there is nothing new. It is just following the rules of procedure. It is just following the constitution, and then we move the house. The thing is, can decision making be made better? Can we stop influence peddling? Can we, push agendas that are taking this country to another level? Magufuli just died recently, changed that country in 6 years. Me and you agree. Can we have such a change in this parliament where the oversight function is well done, appropriation is well done? That is what we want to see. We just don't want to prolong what has been being done. You will find that a parliament the New Zealand parliament can sit and prepare 28 bills in a day. You will look at a parliament preparing 18 bills in 6 months, in a year sometimes. So what are we doing? Two, when the president of Uganda was acting as a speaker from 1986 to 1996, what experience did he have of parliament? When Mr. Lugumai was on the same, what in 1979, 1980, around there, what did he have? He was a teacher. He was, an educationist, and he was running this thing, and you can read about his history. So what we are saying,
I do not doubt the capacity. I do not doubt the capacity. After all, the qualifications, you only need to be an MP. That's
what we are telling you is, it is not about, in that house, it is not about I came from NRM or I came from DP or I came from NOPE. No. I want these people to come into parliament and know that you've come to work for the country, and we are supposed to stand as one.
But you see, I just want to
being in opposition,
to give you a taste of your own medicine. I saw your President General Norbert Mao fronting Engineer Sssebamala that we are bringing our own. We're not going to stand by and watch.
Let they bring us there.
Even NRM.
Why don't they front somebody else? Why don't they front somebody new? Why don't they front somebody new? Why should they front these two?
Well,
you have the numbers.
They have not yet fronted.
No, but you have the numbers. Why are these ones panicking?
Officially, in my understanding, they have not yet fronted.
That is what I'm telling you. That's where the challenge is.
But you will be tussling it out against the NRM. NRM is such a political juggernaut in Uganda that you are swimming against the current. Chances are that you'll drown.
I'm not swimming against NRM. I'm only telling my fellow MPs, we are here. We are independent of any party All we have to do is to work for the country
Engineer Ssebamala, I'm just reminding you.
I'm not going to go inside the parliament and tell them,
you.
I am DP, so vote me because I am DP.
I'm just reminding you, in your party caucus, the president of the party introduced you and said, here you go. They also will sit anywhere, in Chankwanzi or State House or Chadondo, and they'll choose one of them, man or woman, whom they think is the best for them. And they say, we bring ours. When they do that, then you have no chance, because you don't have the numerical strength in that house. And
I'll tell you this, how many went to Changwazi during the last term of office? How many during the 5 years? How many are back? SEC has always proposed, you know, what they should do under any other circumstances. Every bill there has always proposed. How many of them are back? 35% of the last parliament, or the last NRM, you know, numbers, only 35%, and you think you're just going to go to them and dictate to them again this time? You know, I think the dynamics have changed a lot. The age group in parliament has gone to the youth. Actually, I won't say the youth, but it is 50 and below. Very many dynamics have changed in this particular parliament. We are not going to be the people that have been going to Chankwanzi, to Balintuma, to Magere, to Uganda House, and then they decide, and then we come out with... We are saying in this parliament, in order to reserve quality of it, it is not about strength of numbers. It's about quality of the person.
Yeah, but democracy is...
And independence.
But also democracy is about numbers. It's about, you have the majority, you have the numbers, you rule.
There is a saying I normally use.
And you know what?
There is
because the NRM that was voted...
Mr. Kamara, there is a quote I normally use. I say, in the presence of possible odds, the people that love their country can change it. People that love their country can change it, provided you've given them an odd. Provided there is a path, however thin it is. If people really want change, if they really want to see value, they want to see quality. So now, where is the odd? Whether they have numbers or not, all of us stand the same chance. However much it is 1 out of a million, all of us stand a chance. So now, don't underestimate that chance. Very many people have underestimated that chance, including the person I stood with the other time. He underestimated the fact that this is just a new guy. He has just come. What can he do? Where is he? So don't underestimate the odd. I am telling you, in that parliament, we want quality. In that parliament, we want independence. In that parliament, we want to stand out like the parliaments, like the 7th parliament. The 8th parliament, that even censured ministers.
The 6th parliament.
The 6th parliament. Those that even censured ministers for wrongdoing. That would stand up and say, you know what? Let somebody declare their wealth. Where so and so gotten his wealth. We want to be that strong. So don't tell me people are going to come because they have gone to... I know people have been called to Chankwas, I think, on 7th, and around 30 are saying we are not going. In the corridors, we are listening to them. They are saying for us whether we go or not go. We have a speaker already. So we are going to vote. We are waiting for that. Because people are tired of this thing of trouncing, you know, bending over them, giving them rules and then telling them everything, giving them pocket change. And then after, they don't have a second term. They have nothing to answer to the constituents. People are tired of that.
You know, I've just been listening to the marbled corridors of power, and I listened to quite a number of people, and look, so throwing the name of Engineer Richard Sssebamala, and you know, they say your desire, your plan, your ambition is dead on arrival. It is doomed to fail. And unfortunately, they also add that you even know it.
I can't, you know, sabotage somebody's opinion. It is their opinion. They have a right to their opinion. What I can tell them is they know very little of that opinion, and the little they know they are not sure. Let they go back and find out who Engineer Ssebamala is. Let they go out and write. It is not an ambition. It is just a vessel that I'm saying, guys, we have come to parliament. We can do better. We can do much, much better. Can we stand together this time and push an agenda that will look at us, that will be remembered? Let us have a legacy to remember. Not Chankwanzi, not Balintuma, not DP. Let them remember the 11th parliament did X, did X, did X, instead of prolonging what has been happening. So it is not about whether somebody comes up with an opinion or not. I look on. This prize is part of of what happens in campaigns, abuses, and everything. It's what insults. It's what comes with campaigns. And we've stood the test of time. We are saying we need quality, and the time is now. Mr. Museveni came to presidency at 40 what? 42? Madam Kadaga became speaker at what? 42? 42? Look at all of them. They were in our age bracket. What have we done wrong to stand up in the same positions and tell them, you know what, it is time. We have also arrived. It is time to go. This is what we are saying. Even if they are dancing better, we believe, I believe, we can do much better. It's just a matter of giving us a chance to perform.
So you're trying to create a dichotomy of them and us in that parliament?
It doesn't matter if it is them and us. After all, we are more than them.
You're playing, playing the generational card.
It's part of it. It is part of the scores. The generational card will push them out. The technology card will push them out. You understand? There are very many things that can push them out. The environment does not favor them also. Either today it does not. It favors us. So they can play the political card of Chankwas and propaganda. They can play that better. They can also play the economic card because they are the ones that have the money. Those ones they can try to play around with. But these others, we are running better. And these are the ones that drive the country. We have the numbers. If you play the generational cards, I have the numbers. So by and large, we are just creating a generational leader. A bridge between the old and the young. That is all. I just want to be that speaker that can bridge the people with the executive. You know, that can bridge the generations after and before.
It's very good to see a dynamic MP-elect coming with a lot of gusto and speaking positive, and which is good. And I've seen people deflate a little bit, but I also know the kind of impact President Yoweri Museveni has on his members, who happen to be the majority in that house. The moment he stands and walks and meets in that caucus, experience, as a reporter has shown me, he always carries the day.
Research has shown that these, when they were electing Sewa Pakabulo, there was no feud in NRM. When they were electing Mzee Ssekandi, there was no feud. It was a matter of, who should we vote? I think that's Ssekandi continue, isn't it? Why has it come now? Why did it come the last time? And why has it come now? You understand? Why did it come in 2016? And why is it coming now? That means the leaders have lost grip of their own people. It is just here. So if you're talking about losing grip, they lost grip the other time. He had to come and be there when they are electing. This time they're even quarreling before we even go for elections. You understand? What does that give you? And one goes and reports them. You know what? These people are blackmailing me and everything. And then the president has to make some calls. That is a signal that you're losing grip of your own people. So what am I telling you? I know he does not have the same influence he had. Yes. And he cannot have...
But the problem
and
with
then
you... But
he had only two... He
the
had
problem
only
with you...
200,
the problem is that we are not talking about a party that has a simple majority. We are talking about a party that has overwhelming majority. That even 100...
And all of us...
That even 100 members of NRM may decide even to vote against. But still NRM will carry the day.
No problem.
In fact, you're telling me about 30 of them may not go to Chankwanzi.
Yeah.
That's okay. You can even have 50.
I'm only saying...
Whoever runs and is backed by NRM will have a landslide in that house.
Mr.
And you know it.
Mr. Kamara, do you think Jacob and Rebecca are the best candidates the NRM has? That it cannot front anybody else? That do or die, these are the people that we have. If you have the numbers, why don't you bring somebody that is better than Richard? Same age, 2 masters, everything, but better. If you have the numbers, after all, you have the numbers, why them? So this is what we're saying, that I think it is not a loss of a better candidate, but it is because you're prolonging something that we believe can change. And for us, 100%, all our thoughts are can we have value for money for the people in that parliament? Do the people get value for money? With the roaming poverty around, prioritization that is all over and everything, should we start mentioning one by one the roles that parliament has not played right? Is it what we want to see in the 11th parliament? That is what I'm saying. If you offer yourself and then somebody starts despising you, and then you ask them to check themselves.
Okay.
Do you feel you could be speaker as a parliamentarian? Or if you feel you wouldn't be, do you feel you're going to be a better parliamentarian with this particular, or you're going to be begging and needing and asking for, well, today I have to see the speaker, the other day, and is it what we need? I think we need a leadership that is more of a teamwork. You understand? Generation, that's what I told you. Generation leadership. We just need teamwork.
All right. Engineer Ssebamala, hold on to your point, because you're going to take a break, and on the spot, we'll be right back. Welcome back. You're watching On the Spot. My name is Patrick Amara. My guest tonight is Engineer Richard Sssebamala, MP-elect, Bokoto Central, the man who is super focused on the position of Speaker in the 11th Parliament. What are his chances of making it? Somebody has just sent me a message here, and he's a cabinet minister, by the way. I don't think I should even say the name, but there's a message. I'm going to read it for you. But what is his track record that he should be trusted? Parliament is partisan. That's what multi-party politics is about. Why should NRM with 400 members vote DP with 8 people? He is a dreamer.
Like I said, people are entitled to their opinions. That's her opinion. I'm sorry, or his opinion, whatever the cabinet minister is. But I will tell this cabinet member a few things that I want them to know about me. I'm not anything. I'm just a simple person. I take a border sometimes. I take a taxi. I'm that person that you pass by when you know, in your sirens. I'm that person that feels bad when, you know, there's land grabbing, there is floods, the lands, you know, the landing sites are not, you know, are taken over by the army. I'm that simple person. You want to know about my track record? Please go. I said it here. I finished I don't have to give you my whole bio, actually. You go and read about it. You have heard the name Ssebamala Richard. Go Facebook, go what? That is what I'm telling you. These people do not, she can't, by the time she said, or he sends that message, they should have already gone to Google or wherever and got to know. I've been in the papers all over. They should be knowing my history by now to know my track record. But now I got to the point of where she says this is multi-party politics. It is about numbers. Should we blame you, NRM, for everything that has happened in Parliament? Should we say that everything that has gone wrong, it is because you have the numbers? NRM has the numbers. Hey, Atko this, NRM. Boma, NRM. Is it what we should do? Are you ready to play that card? So I think, okay. And maybe finally I want to tell her I'm not dreaming. I'm sure by the time you entered Parliament, if you had your own ambitions. And that was your level of ambition, and that was your level that is where you wanted to enter Parliament, and then I think that is where you started dreaming of what you can become. I don't know whether she has been or she's just appointed or she was one of the parliamentarians. But what I want to know, want her to know that you can decide to sense or to read the future. You understand? To know where the cards will play. This position is not because I have become a parliamentarian and now I'm thinking about it. Like I told you in the beginning, you can look at my track record. We want change in that parliament, and we started thinking about it far before this.
So let me look at the current opposition chief whip, the Honorable Ibrahim Uganda. He's also super focused on the position of speaker, and quite a number of people say he's a formidable candidate, both the opposition and the NRM.
I don't disagree.
And yet you are also looking for the same, also from the opposition. If this was an army in a battle, we would call it uncoordinated troop movement that can result in death. Why is the opposition having this uncoordinated movement of troops?
I really
why
don't.
And you actually even say that he's a formidable candidate.
Yeah.
Then why can't the two of you just agree and say, you know what? You already have very few people and it's about numbers. You're just spreading yourselves. Do you understand what you're doing to yourselves?
Yeah, I understand perfectly well. One, like she said, the cabinet minister, this is multi-party politics, so every party has a right to bring a candidate. And after that, it is about the best candidate. Simple, it's just that. FDC brought its 2 candidates for Speaker and Deputy Speaker, Mr. Ssebamala. NRM is going to bring its 2. DP has brought its candidates. Every party has a right to bring its candidate. Let the best man win. 2, FDC has 33, DP has 9. Even if I gave him my 9, he won't win. With 40 something, he won't win. You understand? We are all fishing from NRM. So who is the best fisher? At the moment, if you put us together, I here for DP and Mr. Uganda there, who would best fish from NRM? Given the way he handles himself with the NRM and the way the way I have handled myself. I will tell you this. In my constituency, 26 councillors, Bukoto Central, 26 of the councillors I found were 24 were NRM. Out of 26, 24 were NRM. Out of 105 villages, 93 chairmen, 93 were NRM. I stood in DP and won. You understand? Because I told them, because I told them it is not about parties. I told them it is not about parties, it is about service delivery.
So you are the one.
So I'm telling also,
you are the green on top and.
No, you can say that. But what I told them, I kept telling the constituents, at the end of it all, when there is darkness or there is no power at the NRM in one village with NRM, also the DP people are suffering the same. DP, NUP, NRM, all of us will suffer the same when there is no power in a particular village. The same thing happens to this position that we want to have. You understand? Whether we are, at the time when they say the 11th parliament did this, it won't be about NUP, it won't be about NRM, it won't be about this, it will be about the 11th parliament. So the 11th parliament is about quality service delivery. And that's it. Let's deliver the right policies, let's deliver them in time, let's do our representation work, let's actually balance our work of representation, oversight, legislation and everything, and make sure Ugandans feel our purpose. Otherwise, if you ask people today, of all the 3 arms of government, which one would you remove first? They would take parliament. Am I lying? So they say, leave parliament. They are taking a lot of money, they are not doing anything.
So technically, you and Uganda are seriously competing in this race.
I'm not competing against Uganda. I'm looking for the office.
Yeah, you're competing to get votes from the 400 members of parliament to
the office of speakership is the one that I want. Uganda can play his cards.
He wants the same.
I'm playing my cards. Exactly. Let the best man win. Let the best man win.
So you compete.
Like I told you,
compete to get.
Like I told you that even if I gave him the 9
position,
I'm ready to give him the 9 and fish from NRM. So it's about the office. It is not about individuals. It's not about Semuju. It's not about Jacob. It's not about Rebecca. It's not about those honorables.
So now,
no, it is about the office.
Ultimately,
that needs change.
Ultimately, the decision will be taken in the NRM caucus, and whoever the NRM brings, that man or woman, will most definitely carry the day. So if you want, you have to start your charm offensive in the NRM camp. How is it going if you are doing it?
If I'm doing it?
Yeah.
Of course, I've laid out a few strategies, and those strategies are silently moving. I can tell you with the authority that people want change. They might not say it aloud, but it's a secret ballot. And they are ready to surprise some people. I don't know whether the president is going to come also this time and stand there and make sure they vote the right person, but I'm telling you, people want change. People want to see services delivered. There is something they want to see. Whichever parliamentarian you talk to, NRM, DP, nope. They'll say, but really, what can we do better? How can we be perceived better? People want change. So how is my campaign going? It is slow but sure. A lot of travels out of the central, to other places, but it is really promising.
Talking about the central, politics is about aligning, interest and regional balance in a country like this, or tribal and, religion and stuff like that. And in this election, Buganda spoke with such clarity and one voice. In fact, they literally chased NRM from Buganda region. Let me put this. They literally chased NRM from Buganda region. And now you think the majority party should hand over the third most important position in our land to a region that chased it away. And I know this somebody may not understand it, but politics is about aligning region, interests, tribes, and all that kind of stuff. And it's about also getting political capital, and then you can get your dividends. If you have not given them the political capital, we're giving them the vote. And then the third most important office is handed to you and handed to you in opposition. If it is handed to you and handed to you in NRM, it's understandable.
I don't want to play the regional card.
But because that's how Ugandan politics is.
I'm telling you, I don't want to play the regional card. I don't want to play the what is it? The region card. I don't want to play the culture card. And then those are now small things that should not run this country. This country is supposed to be run by a person that understands it. According to my understanding, like I told you, every 100 kilometers in this land, even in Buganda, you go to Kochi, it is a different kind of Uganda. You go to Kalangala, it is a different kind of Uganda. So in this land, we should have somebody that that looks abroad. It is not about cultures. It is not about this. And even if NRM said we performed poorly, we brought NRM here. Where was the war? It was in Ruero. We brought them here. We are not asking for tokens. We are not asking. We demand that we are here, and you came because we died. Our grandparents and everyone died. So it's not about, if we are seeing us trying to shield away, it is about you looking into yourself and say, where is the problem? It is not about, okay, if you have refused, you go. Two, there are 107 positions, 107 parliamentarians in the Buganda region. NRM got 30. Around 30. That's good enough. It is not a wipeout. We would have wiped all the 107 positions out, and then they say, okay, now they have chased us out of Buganda. But they got 30. Even Coach here, Chinyamatama, and I don't know, here, Rakai, there are very many. I can spread them one by one. We didn't wipe them out. We only gave them a signal. Is there something you're not seeing clearly? Are we wrong about it? Are we right? Now, what is going to show us whether we are right or wrong is trouncing us in those positions and thinking that we beat NRM out, because no, we are just saying, look closer. Is there a problem? Where is the problem? Can you solve it? Instead of, saying now that these people have let us go to there. We are the same people. Don't forget, by the way. We are the same people that brought these people. We gave them the roads to Entebbe.
So now, let's look into allegations of voter bribery. Because I thought this would be an issue, money exchanging hands at the top, that you people who are fighting for, I mean, campaign paraphernalia of T-shirts and stuff like that. What do you make of that as somebody who's supposed to be an honorable member of parliament, when some people seem to be behaving in a manner that is horrible and not honorable?
It is absurd. It's really absurd if somebody values a honorable member of parliament as somebody that needs a suit or 1 million or 2 million. It's really absurd. I've had it happen. I have people have agents that have called us. Before I stood, a few agents of some, of these people were calling me to tell me, let's just meet here, let's meet here, let's go here, let's, you know, they want to talk to you. And I would sense, you know, the rhetoric. But what I can tell you is during campaigns or in any campaign, it is about using every single tactic that you have to win. After winning, the rest is, you know, is behind it all. So if you don't win when you had a chance to win, and then you didn't use it, you won't say, yeah, I wish I did. So everyone is coming out with different strategies. Others are using money, we are using words, others are using suits, others are giving out, are promising ministerial positions, others are promising, you know, committee positions, others are promising trips. That is all. It is not money, but indirectly it is already money. So everyone is using their different tactics to make sure that, you know, we go on. What I can tell my fellow parliamentarians is I'm not broke. I'm not broke. If you looked me up, you'll find me a humble youth that has. But I'm not going to use money. Money is the last option. It's the last option I have. And money is for the, very few people can be swayed with money at that, you know, at that level of parliamentarian. Very few. You can't sway a lot. They can eat your money and even look away. Because all they need is, what they are looking for is not money. In that parliament, if somebody is going to get 30 million, 35, and then you think you're going to sway them with 2 million, I don't think it's their problem. Their problems are not money, suits or what. Maybe committees, those ones I can say, ministerial positions, committees, what. Those ones might, you know, push them to stumble.
How many will you make ministers? How many can you make ministers?
But you know, you promise everyone. You promise everyone a committee. You promise everyone a ministry. You promise everyone, such that you keep them stumbling. Maybe it will be me.
This is
maybe
how you do it, politicians.
Yeah, that is how they do it. But I believe if they are looking for somebody with principles, somebody straight, somebody that stands for truth and justice, somebody that is ready to change, somebody that is ready to see them equal, then we are not looking at money.
And okay, as a fellow candidate in the race now, we seem to have seen acrimony among the contenders, especially between the incumbent and the other who is trying to challenge. And so what do you make of that? The words that have been exchanged are not palatable.
It's absurd. I wouldn't even like it. Personally, as one of one of the people in the race, I hate blackmail. It's one of the things that one of those people that we contested with, you know, when we are contesting, Mr. Rarely would you hear, you know, the vice president, you know, like blackmailing. Rarely would he speak out. Maybe one time when he said this one is lost, he should go to the park and find his way. But rarely would you hear him. But we had one person in that race that could say things out of nothing. It is really absurd if people take bedroom matters into the public. Actually, you can't call a man a coward. If you're a coward, you know, there is a saying in Ankole there, like if you want to show that you're a man, then be a man. If you want to show your manhood, then be a man for us to know. So if you start calling him a coward, then if somebody calls a woman a liar, a lying woman is not something simple. You're a liar. That one lies. It's full of lies. You understand? These are things that I don't want to hear. They sound so bad. Actually, by the time the president told them, quiet, 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 it was tearing the party apart. Although for us, we are drumming. This side, we are
enjoying the
we're enjoying they fight, and for us, we take the junk. Because, I mean, these are the people. We are saying this. And I kept asking to myself, surely, Mr. President, are these the only two candidates you can front?
You know,
why don't you surprise them and put a third one such that they go into order? She didn't have to speak. He just had to show the NRM he's leaning on another new one, then these two would be in order by nightfall. But you know, the more they fight, the more Ugandans get to know what they did below the sheets. So,
well, you want to be in charge of that house. The numbers, 540 for a country of 40 million people.
529.
529, sorry, 529 for a country of 40 million. Our numbers is almost equal to the Parliament of India. India, a country of 1.3 billion people. I mean, it
is also absurd.
The biggest parliament south of Sahara.
Yeah, it's also absurd, but you know...
Must we be having all of you, representatives?
It is parliament...
putting a cost of public administration on us, on the
common man. But these are the issues that I'm telling you. When you come out as a fellow common man like them, then they despise you. Now that's the problem. When you tell them we are having the same problems and I'm coming out to be speaker because I know your problems, then they see you, for you you're not able. Let's leave the other big ones. Then you ask them now, who knows your problems better? But leaving that, going back to this question, we have a very big parliament. But it is just the way they structured the laws, the Local Government Act and the Electoral Commission, that it is based on population and then it is based on the population and then what is it? Generally the demographics.
Yeah, but
every
again,
time,
even that is
every
not
time, and for a person that wants to be in power,
if that was the population of the case, Kampala Central and Nakawa and all,
we would be having yes, exactly
20 more MPs.
Yeah, but then now those particular clauses only work for the executive. Whenever they feel we should structure here, then it is easy to structure and
gerrymandering.
Yeah. But it is not something that is sustainable. It is not something that is sustainable. It's like it is not sustainable to keep like the army guarding you all over. At one time it can change against you. So the same thing happens to this to Parliament. Time is going to come and then Parliament is the whole, whether it is 500, whether it is 400, they all turn against you in a blink. Just one mistake. And they will all turn against you. So, but with a sober parliament, like the one that I'm going to lead, I'm sure these things will go. We don't have scorecards for parliamentarians. How will you advise, how will you lead when you cannot go one-on-one with your own parliamentarians? And they ask them, you know what, we did a 360 on you. And
so
then
in a plenary of almost 530 people,
yes.
How do you ensure that even if all wanted to give some kind of
it is not about
contribution,
you know, when you're appraising people, like a 360 appraisal will not take in only the plenary. Okay, you're not in the plenary, or I've not chosen you to speak in the plenary. How about in the committees? How are you performing in the constituency? You understand? How are you performing out of here? What is your general behavior? What does the media talk about you? Very many things. You could put up scorecard, you know, a tool that, you know, can score the 529. Appraise them one-on-one. Yeah? How do you see this? Where should we change? What do you think is better? That is when you'll face your own parliamentarian. I'm sure there are some people that have not faced the current speaker since they entered parliament, and they have been there for 10 years. But you know, this is when you'll know that, hey, this is so and so, this is so and so, and this is how it should be done. So you understand? It's not about knowing people's names. Knowing people by name, there's a time when the president went to Rwanda and said, they say Mbera, but Antiu Mubiru, Antiu Mukasa, Antiu Seremba. Now, does that mean that you have not forgotten them? You understand? Does that mean that you have not forgotten them? So that is why I'm saying that now, when it comes to when it comes to, you know, gerrymandering, and it is not sustainable. It is not sustainable. And people are getting a better ideology. We are giving them a better vision. What we are telling these people is it is not about numbers. It is about you. If I, Sebamala, can stand, an MP elect can stand and know that I have a right to become speaker, then you have a right to vote the right person. Not to be, you know.
So now, we, this year, we're celebrating 100 years of legislature, the Parliament of Uganda, having been in the hands of whites, and 1962 when we had people like Nyanga Byaki and the rest, and Kawalia, and I think another person from Busoga, I forget the name. The three Africans, Ugandans, to first enter parliament. It has been quite a journey. And when you look back in 1960 and you see, you read the Hansard and you see the debates in 1960, and even quoting in, the sixth parliament, you could actually see that the quality of debate was quite good. And yet, members of parliament at that time were of modest education. What went wrong in your view?
One, monetarizing parliament, monetarizing elections. Because people no longer come to parliament because of ideas, or because they have sold better ideas and visions. They come because they can, you know, find a way to go out. Popularism. Somebody is voted in because they are artists, because they are popular anyway. Not specifically artists, but because they are popular. In any field, you can be a footballer, but because you're popular. So then you go out to the committee leadership. You find very many people are getting positions, trips, because they are, you know, loved.
Why should a trip be something so
but
big
for what purpose?
For a member of parliament?
I was looking at one trip, 14 days, somebody gets 30 million. 14 days, to and fro, they put 30 million. Who would not want to go for a trip when they are stuck? You are a bit broke. Trip. Madam Speaker, you know, if I went and benchmarked with the group that is going to Italy, then we came back. Some even don't come back with reports. Some go unprepared. Some arrive in those benchmarking, you know, meetings late. You know, then they come back. You come back here, you know, they're having two committees. Somebody is sitting on one committee. But I think in this parliament, because we are 529, we're enough to at least sit to at least one per committee. Besides, we are going to make our own rules of procedure as soon as we enter parliament. So that's why I'm telling you, there has been a lot that has been going on in the parliament. You know, influence from the executive, that the parliament is not independent enough to make its decisions. I think they learned from the 6th and 7th parliament. They said, now we have to put our numbers such that when they are making, we say, let's vote. Instead of taking on the right ideas. So I believe there is a lot that has gone changing in parliament. For a while, things are changing, politics is changing, and the environment is not being governed. Even the last point will be the schools, the political schools, the Chankwanzis, they were supposed, okay, Obote had suggested 4 schools, 5 schools, one in the north, west, east, and then Chankwanzi. Only Chankwanzi took off for leadership courses, the leadership, you know, institutions that, you know, build, that you know, mentor the leadership, the leaders. So they are not there. You just come from Iganga as a principal executive engineer, then the next day you were a parliamentarian. And then you're now going to use the knowledge that you've had in Iganga, the knowledge that you've researched when you were in school, and the knowledge that you have from school, and the experience you've got while voting, while in the election, you know, period, and then now here you are. You understand? So it's a lot of factors.
Engineer Ssebamala, we're going to take a break, but when we come back, I'll open the lines so that you two can be a part of this discussion. You're going to see the numbers on the screen. You pick your phone and call us, and please make it precise and concise. And should you be in disagreement with the Engineer Ssebamala, you can disagree, but disagree with respect. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're watching On the Spot. My name is Patrick Amara. My guest tonight is Engineer Richard Sssebamala, MP-elect for Bukoto Central, who is super focused on the position of Speaker in the 11th Parliament. And this is the moment when you get to have your say, because we always want to interact with you, to hear your views on these issues. You could be having an idea or two. You can give it to us. And perhaps we're having a trouble putting the number on the screen, but maybe I can read it for some of you who do not know it. 0414 563462. Can I repeat that? 0414 563462. So pick your phone and call us. And please make it precise and concise so that we can have many of you participate in the in this. Okay, so I'm picking the callers right now. I have a caller online. Hello. Hello. So, okay, as the callers try to come in.
Yes, Patrick.
Yes, good evening, sir. What's your name and where are you calling
Yes,
from?
good evening. This is Kato Kawesa. I'm calling from Bwaise.
Okay, sir, you're on air, Kato.
Yeah, Councillor Bwaise 2 West. I want to thank Engineer Sssebamala.
Yes.
For the heart. And for Engineer Sssebamala takes this seat, you are going to revive our parliament.
Thank you.
And I'm here in our constituency here looking for my MP elect at least to request him to vote Engineer Sebamala. We are supporting you, Engineer Sebamala. We are praying for you so that you become our speaker.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Kato, calling in, did you say from Boise? Thank you so much. And I'm told he wants to go and talk to his member of parliament, so probably convince him and he gives you a vote.
No, that's
we have another call online. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good evening, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm called Engineer Richard from Chanamukaka.
You're from Chanamukaka?
I'm from Chanamukaka.
Oh my God, that is right in Bukoto Central in the constituency of Sebamala.
Yeah, from Bukoto Central.
Oh, go right ahead.
I agree with Mr. Ssebamala, and I'm happy to see you. That person is with us. I think we need a person who's like us to be the Speaker of the Parliament of Uganda.
But like
so
when you say like when you say like us, what do you mean? A speaker who's like us, what do you mean?
Knows their problems.
as he said, like he's a common man like us.
Yes.
I mean,
so we need a common man like us
for heaven's sake, Richard is an engineer. For heaven's sake, Richard is not broke. For heaven's sake, Richard has two master's degree.
Yeah, but I move with them. We use the same mode of transport and everything.
Okay, but I thank you so much, and it is so interesting to get a caller from Chanamukaka.
Yeah. How did you go through?
Okay, I have another call online. Hello. Hello. Okay, I have a call online. Hello.
Yes.
Good evening, sir.
Kamara.
Yes, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
This is Kiwewa Haman. I'm calling from Kibale Koki.
Kibale Koki.
Richard Sssebamala is my neighbor.
Okay.
And I do support you, Richard Sssebamala, for your ambitiousness. But I would like to request you kindly. This is my humble request, sir. That why don't you cooperate with the Mr. Ibrahim Semuju, because the other one is your senior. Just kindly. You cooperate with him, allow him to stand behind him, then we defeat these NRM people. Please, Richard Sssebamala, this is my humble request. Thank you so much for your presentation. Kiwa Haman from Chibali Koki.
Chibali Koki. How did you send in a message to Chanamukaka for people to?
No, that is beyond.
that is
beyond my constituency.
Okay, I'm trying to get as many people as possible.
Very many people are online, you know.
Okay.
It's an era of technology.
Okay.
The era that these people that are struggling to catch up with.
Okay. Okay. Well, I think I should just pick some more callers. But, you know, we've had, you know, how do you assess the tenure of the current speaker and the other speakers, and how the parliament has been like? Because what I know, at least in the era of the NRM government, everybody points at the sixth parliament, as the sixth parliament have been having been robust. Yes, sir. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Good evening, sir. What's your name?
I'm called Dennis from Natete.
Dennis in Natete, you are on air, sir.
Yeah, I want to. Let me first greet that man. How are you, sir?
Fine. How are you?
For us in our new generation, I think we want a new blood like you.
Thank you.
In our generation, we thought those old people Man, for me, I'm going to vote you. We need...
Your MP representing which constituency, sir? Is he a fellow MP?
No.
Oh, okay. Maybe he is.
I don't know.
Maybe he is.
Maybe
you never know.
You never know.
Okay. All right. If that man was going to vote, if he's an MP elect, then you have a vote. Okay. You can bring in your questions or even your comments or your advice or whatever you have. And then at the end of the show, Engineer Ssebamala will be making very soon his concluding remarks, his final arguments on this show, as he goes to look for MPs who were recently elected, so that he can make his charm offensive and see what will come out of it. Yeah. So, you know, I think I had a call online, but unfortunately, we had a comms challenge there. You can still call again. The number is 0414563462, and keep it brief. And should you, like I always say, maybe have a disagreement in Mr. Sebamala's candidature, you can do that, but do it with respect. Just like the guy who just called a couple of minutes ago, who seemed to disagree.
Mr.
Yes, sir. What's your name?
May I know Mr. Richard's take about these speakers that are giving out money to the MPs in order to elect them?
Okay.
Stake.
Okay.
The money we answered about it. Right?
Okay.
So
I think you talked about that.
I'll give an overview.
Okay. I'm going to my producers telling me I can just take one more, and there are quite a number of people would want to.
My brother, let me continue with my issue. We need the younger speaker. We need the younger speaker like you. I'm going to vote you. You tell the parliament to come back to ground so that for us, we vote our speaker as a country. Eh? We have tired you. We just to go and vote Kadaga. We want to change.
Okay, he's very passionate. He's very. You can
and,
feel the passion in his voice.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm closing the lines, unfortunately, but thank you so much for having tried to have that interaction with us here, because it makes it feel that Uganda is watching and you recognize what we're doing. So, in trying to respond to those comments and making your concluding remark, Engineer.
Thank you very much, Kato, Mulongo Kato. We are looking forward to working for the country, for doing exactly what you want us to do. It is going to be hard. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard, but be sure we are going to push until we see things through, until we see there is change in this land. Mr. Kasango, thank you too. I think it was the same about Mr. Semjunganda. Like I argued before, it is not about me. It is about multi-party politics for everyone to stand, but it is about the best man winning at the end of it all. It is not about me standing behind him because my party will not allow me to go out. Okay. Then Mr. Semju's party is also waiting on his candidature. And then maybe NOP is also bringing a candidate. We never know. There's still a lot of time. So it is about the fact that different parties can bring different candidates. But it's about the best man winning at the end of it all. So even if we are all opposition, they will look out for the best opposition. You leave it to the voters. Then about the generational, the generational shift, I have told you, the demographics have changed. And we are looking at people that can bridge between the other generation and our generation. And I think I'm the only person that is, in that bracket. I don't know other people's ages anyway. Then about the money, I talked about this briefly, but my take is there's no need for giving a fellow parliamentarian money to vote you. It is not important. It is actually uncalled for. Let everybody go out and put out their deliveries, what they are going to deliver in the short run and the long run, and then let the voters choose one on one. And like I told you, my closing remarks are always the same in most of the people. But today, I'll give to one. Today, I want to pay tribute to Miss Sarah Makumbi. Sarah Makumbi died today. She was an NRM cadre in Mukono. She worked. She used to do a lot of mobilization for the for the party there. But she was a lady that was calm, down to earth, all smiles, and supported my candidature against Edward Ssekandi, and had promised to come and be part of us in the election. Today is the day she died. I saw her in today's papers, today's New Vision, so I've remembered, and I would love to tell the country, till we meet again. I know Sarah, she's happy wherever she is. Two, I would want to give you the same quote, that in the presence of possible odds, people that love this country, that love their country, can change it. And this is one of those odds. It is about voting. It is about you. It is not about the party. It is not about you. It's about Uganda. Let's stand with the people. Let's stand with the people this time. Give them the right speaker, and let's do what we are supposed to do. Let's revive the vigor, the quality, the values of Parliament. Let's be principled. Let's be different.
All right.
I'm looking forward to your votes.
Engineer Richard Sssebamala, MP-elect Bukoto Central, we want to thank you so much for your time, and I appreciate your insights. And for those who have been watching, of course, I thank you for your great company. And you know, members of Parliament have been elected. You have a role to appropriate, to legislate, and to do oversight role. Please come and do that. And remember, the people who control you or who have maybe any authority are the people who elected you in the first place. If you can listen to them, I suppose that will be a good thing. And maybe I may just have to mention this. Just 2 days ago, yesterday, I received an award from Public Opinion International of what we do. So maybe sometimes it's so gratifying to know that somebody is recognizing.
Yes, congratulations, Mr. Kamara.
Thank you so much. Good night, and God bless Uganda.
You had told me before, you push it hard.